Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to do another great workout you can do in your home very easily, very little equipment, very small space. Remember to come into these workouts warmed up and ready to go. 5 to 10 minutes of a cardio workout just to get your heart rate up and your muscles warmed up. Helps avoid injury, helps you move through the motions with more ease, and gets you thinking about movement and in the right frame of mind. Okay. So today we're going to start, if you have a BOSU, go ahead and grab one. If you don't, it's fine. You can use a bench, you can use the floor, you can use a chair. We're going to start off with some push-ups. So regardless of if you do it against the wall or the counter or a bench, or you want to try something like a BOSU, it's just a different variation if you'd like to try it. And then we're also going to need a kettlebell or a little bit heavier dumbbell and a ball if you have one. And that is it for today. So let's get started. We're going to start with some push-ups, like I said. If you do have a BOSU and you want to try it, flip it over. Generally, they don't recommend flipping the dome over, but for things like this, it's easier to hang on to. So you can either put your hands way out on the side and hang on to those handles or make a flat platform, whatever feels best on your wrist. So we're going to go ahead and try 10. So this gives you just a little bit of wobbly and a little bit of variation. If you don't have one, use your bench, use your countertop, use the floor. It's all going to be still a great workout. So let's do 10. 1. Lowering down with your chest, regardless of what platform you are using. 4. Keep breathing. 5. Pulling up with those abs. 6. 7. 8. Remember not to dip your head. And 10. Good. All right, we can get that moved out of the way. And now we're going to stand up. So stand up nice and slowly. Bring this up a little high. Grab your kettlebell or your dumbbell, whichever you have handy. We're going to do suitcase squats. So what I like about these is you're going to activate some core as well. It's really functional because many times when you go to pick something up, you just pick it up with one hand. And you want to do it with good form. So we're going to sit back into our squat and then stand up. So your goal is to keep your shoulders level. You don't have to sit down that far. You can just sit a little ways. Keeping those shoulders level, really keeping that core engaged to keep you level. I don't want you leaning down like this and conversely, trying to lift it up, hiking it up like that. Trying to keep everything as equal as possible. Sitting back into those heels, regardless of how far you are going down. Even if you go this way, you're still sitting back into those heels. We'll call this one 6. Keeping your chest up nice and tall, 7. Bending at the hips, keeping your back flat, 8. 9. And making sure your knees track straight. You don't want them caving in. All right, good. Now we're going to set that down. We're only going to do one side to start with. And then we're going to grab, I forgot, we do need a little bit lighter dumbbell. We're going to do triceps extension with a bridge on the ball. So you can, depending on what dumbbell you just used, you may be able to use the same one. We're going to walk out into a bridge, weight straight overhead, and we're going to do those. They're actually called skull crushers, but for obvious reasons, you want to go very slowly here and controlled. Just bending your elbows. Your upper arms stay perpendicular to the floor. Keeping your hips nice and tall. Breathing nice and slowly. 5. Really squeeze those glutes to keep your hips up. 8. 9. And 10. All right, nice and slowly. And then walk yourself back up to a seated position. Make sure that you take that time to know that you aren't dizzy or lightheaded before you stand back up. So we're going to grab the kettlebell or your dumbbell, whichever you have, in your other hand now and do 10 more squats. So we're giving your legs a little bit break in between there. Same thing, it may feel harder or easier depending on, you know, your handedness, left or right handedness, and which side you maybe pick things up more often. You probably do it with one side or the other without thinking. So really sitting those hips back. See, my knees are staying over my ankles, not going out over my toes, staying in a straight line, not caving in. Chest up nice and tall. Remember, if you need to, do that smaller range of motion. That's okay. It's all the same muscles. 8, 9, and one more. Keep that core really tight, and 10. All right. You should really be feeling across your abs if you're doing that correctly. Okay, now we're going to lower back down to the floor. And we're going to do a bird dog. So on your hands and knees, but we're gonna do it a little bit differently. So I want you to reach straight out and then bring your leg and arm away from center just a little bit. So if you're looking at me straight on, out, and then in. So just a little bit pulling it away from center. Keep your head in line with your spine here. Don't look up or look down. You want to keep that head in line, working on that posture always. And good head positioning, keeping that cervical spine happy. And these are just really slow, going out into those lateral movements there. Nice. You want to think about keeping a flat back, so keeping a teacup without spilling on your back. Let's do 2 more. We're not going to do a full 10 here. These can feel like a lot. This was 6, I think. You can go all the way to 10 if you're feeling like you want that extra challenge. Sometimes I'll just do 5 on these, depending on how people are feeling. It can be a big challenge. And rest. Okay. You can sit back into a child's pose and stretch after that one. It feels good. It gets your shoulders and your glutes really good. Okay, now we're going to stand back up. So again, slowly making sure that you're not dizzy or lightheaded, using that good floor to stand form that we work on. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of a balance. We're going to do a slow march kick. So sometimes I recommend that people stand with their back to the wall for this one, or stand next to a counter or sturdy object. So raise, kick, raise, kick, drop, then lower. So up, kick, down, all the way down. So we're working on control here. This is 2. So not, just here. We want to really, this is a really big balance exercise. Again, trying to stay level as you can in your shoulders and your hips. And then when you straighten that leg out, it's a big quad exercise. I think this is 7. If you want a little bit more challenge with this, if this feels pretty easy to you, you can stand on a pillow or a balance pad. You could try it on your Bosu, on the dome. I think that might be a little bit much, but if you need that extra challenge, you can see how it goes. So just make sure you're standing next to something sturdy. 1 more each side. Control up, kick, down, and lower. All right, good balance. Always having to contract that core throughout all of these. And then we're going to end with another core specific exercise. We're going to do those abs on the ball. So it's sort of a reverse crunch or reverse abs. Sometimes I recommend that people sit with their feet up against the wall here, because you can feel like your feet are sliding, and you don't have to worry about that if you're on a hard floor or a lower nap carpet. Mine's pretty high, and I've got my running shoes on here, so I've got my grip. You can start by just keeping your hands on your thighs, or the next level is here on your shoulders. Now, what I want you to do is keep your back as tall as possible, so no slouching like this, and then similarly, no kind of dipping back with your shoulders. Sometimes people have a hard time just keeping, like you want to think about, you have a board on your back, and your board, you're going to go straight back, keeping that back nice and tight. So I want you to lean back and then only come up to about here. Don't come all the way up. So we're going to keep that tightness, keep those abs engaged throughout without letting them relax if you can. So breathing. This is one that it can seem really simple, and you can make it more simple, but you can also make it as challenging as you need. Let's do 2 more. And 10. Okay, good. All right, now if you're having trouble, with that form, try to do it maybe in front of a bathroom mirror or have a partner help you out with it. You really want to envision everything going back straight like this. So no dipping your shoulders back and no crunching, letting your back, your spine bend. You want to keep it all in one line. Okay, go ahead and do these through 1 or 2 more times. Follow with a good cool down and stretch. You can always add cardio in between each session or each circuit to up that workout. Keep your heart rate going and give yourself a good full, probably about an hour workout by the time it's all said and done. Okay, as always, you can leave me messages in the comments. You can private message me and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you, everybody.